Welcome to the Coaching for Leaders podcast. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dave Shepp. Today we're going to be covering a range of topics on leadership, life purpose, goals, and what you're doing in your life to be happy. I'm a business coach, life coach, and I got a bit of woo-woo in me. I've been creating leaders for over 25 years, and I hope that this show inspires you to bring out your hidden potential and empowers you to live your passion. Let's go ahead and start today's show. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2. Thank you very much for joining me. If I didn't chase you away last week and you're back this week, you are made of some sound stuff, let me tell you. Because if you are that bored that you want to listen to my words, you really do need a life coach. Anywho, how is everybody? So it has been a great week for me. I actually had a great weekend. My birthday is tomorrow. So for my birthday, you guys get to listen to my podcast. How great is that? Leaving a great review would be awesome. Sharing with your friends would be better. But yeah, my birthday's tomorrow. I turn a whopping 53 years old. Somebody asked me the other day, is like, well, what's it feel like to be 53? Is your life over? I'm like, fuck no. My life is just beginning, it feels like, on so many levels. It feels like it took the first 52 years of training, and it's like now it's like, okay, ready, set, go. And that's how this year has been. This year has just been such an incredible year for me. I've done some amazing transformation, some amazing expansion into the person that I really am. And it has been like just all of the stuff that I've been through with my 50 years, but all the people that I've helped. It's like the people that I've helped have formed a community. It's really funny because a lot of my clients I've introduced to each other, or they help each other out with different things. If I know a web designer and then I know an accountant, or I've worked with them, I combine it with other clients. And it's, again, I think I said that last week, like my business has always been solely referral based in a lot of ways. And it's been interesting because the growth that I've had from my clients has made me grow. I mean, it's like people pay me for life coaching sessions. And then by the time I get done, I feel like at times where I've learned as much about myself and as much about them as they have. And we're growing together. And when you have a symbiotic relationship like that, where two people are growing together, and I have some clients that care as much about my growth as I care about theirs. And it's amazing. And that is one of the neatest things. I mean, I have one client who always says, hey, I've given your name out for a referral. Have they called you? Have they called you? And then he'll be like, so now you're talking to your other clients, right? You're making sure they're referring to you too. So how great is it when you run your own business, when you're self-employed, a solopreneur, and then you have your clients saying, hey, did you do this today? Did you do this today? Make sure you're doing this so that you are gaining business and gaining growth. And I tell you, it's one of the greatest things that there is. I can't tell you how blessed I am and how grateful I am with my life because of all these things. So enough about me, though. How about we turn this around and we talk about you? So what I'd like to talk about today, gosh, it's so funny. I have like a whole bunch of topics written down and I'm like, I don't know which one to choose. So we're just going to pick one. I think one that's on my mind right now is I'm really big on life purpose. I'm really big on helping people find their life purpose and then figuring out their skill set, matching the skill set to the life purpose, and then setting up a plan in order for them to be successful. And it's crazy because, I use the term in my practice, zero to excess, because I have met people who are just completely down on their luck. They can't even afford me at times. There have been times where I'm giving people money to live in the past because, again, they just got out of college. They had no money to eat with. And, so I'm referred to him by a friend who's like, hey, can you help this guy out? Hey, can you help this guy out? Whatever. And it's amazing because the way that you're able to reach into their lives and be like, hey, you're doing okay. You're doing good. You just need that little extra something. I had a woman one time who came to me and she was so distraught because she got out of college and she didn't know whether or not she wanted to move away to be with her boyfriend. And it was a rough situation. And she had a job waiting for her here when she got out of college. So it was either like, take a chance on love and go for him, or should I take the job? And she was so just going back and forth with a lot of things. And we sat down and we talked and we figured out what it is that she wanted. And it's just amazing that when you come into someone's life like that and they literally were afraid. And she was like, well, I have a great job here. I don't know what I'm going to do there. So again, we reached in. What is your passion? What is it you do? Come to find out, with her college degree, there was absolutely no passion in that. She just chose a business degree, a marketing degree, because it was good for her, and she was told by her parents, let's go this route. But she didn't care about marketing. Nothing. What she did is she loved design. She loved graphic design, and she was so creative and so brilliant. So we figured out a way for her to start a graphic design business. And lo and behold, she's flourishing. She's living in the state with a new boyfriend, now fiance. Amazing, amazing things have happened to her. And I can't be more proud of her and her commitment. But when I first met her, just fresh out of college, she was just so scared. And it was so nice to be able to have that kind of impact on someone. I had a guy once that he was living in another city, traveling here, trying to figure out what to do, how to build his business here. And we literally just started a couple of days a week. It's like, okay, so let's plan, get you some clients a couple of days a week, travel up here on these couple of days. And then as you get more clients, you can make it 3 days and then 4 days. And it worked out to where eventually he moved up here, he got here, and now again, he's running a flourishing business. He owns a couple of businesses, and he's doing incredibly, incredibly well. But he's living his passion. So we're going to talk about passion tonight. Those are just a couple of examples of what it is that it means to have someone in your corner. Because how many times have you sat there and just felt alone and you're thinking, okay, so isn't life supposed to be easier? Isn't life supposed to be better? Isn't life supposed to be more rewarding? Going to a job tomorrow that I can't stand. And I don't know, I don't like it. I think one thing that I said last week that a couple of people picked up on, so I actually turned it into an Instagram post last night or yesterday. But I said, if you can make this much money doing something you hate, imagine how much money you can make doing something you love. And a couple of people had pointed that out to me that I said that on last week's show. And it's true, and I never really thought about it like that, but it is the truth of I love what I do, so I work constantly. I literally, I'm going from 6 a.m. to midnight. I'm running constantly, going. And I can't tell you the last time I actually took an official day off. But you know what? It's positive stress. When you're a small business owner, and especially with COVID, I had to completely revamp my business when COVID hit, because I did a lot of face-to-face stuff. So now, otherwise I was phone call and Zoom and all these different things, and my classes were all face-to-face. I teach CPR classes. So you can't put a bunch of people in a room with mannequins doing CPR anymore, and the Red Cross just took all that away for a while. I finally got it back, but I can only do very small classes, but I love doing classes. I teach a lot of classes. So now I just teach them online, and it's been rewarding because it's been a learning curve for the technology, and I had to get some additional software built into my website and all these different things. But the classes are working. I got a nice learning management system, so just different things are going pretty well for me. But for me, working this hard is my life passion, so it doesn't feel like work. Like, I don't complain, oh, I haven't had a day off in 6 months. I never do that. And I'm more of the, oh God, I can't wait for tomorrow. I can't wait to go to bed tonight so I can wake up tomorrow and start again. And when your life is like that, when you feel that good about the choices that you made in your life and how well you're doing, it is amazing. So that's what I want each of you to feel. If you guys are not feeling that, if you're thinking, shit, I got to get up in the morning and go back into punch a time clock for a place that I hate, I don't want to be there, please continue to listen to my shows, because we're going to talk about this each week. We're going to talk about the process, and we're going to figure out ways that you can do that. And I want to hear your success stories. I want to hear that if you have heard one of my podcasts and it sparked something in you and it sparked some inspiration and it made you think a different way, I want to hear the feedback. I want some shout outs on your Instagram. I want some shout outs on your Facebook for my episode for what made you change. But do me a favor and do that for me. Again, I'm a new podcast, so I could use the support, but also I want to get to know you. I want to know what I said that helped you so that hopefully I can figure that out and help others. And because that's the thing, that's the whole point of this podcast is I want to get out there and I want to help people realize what their life purpose is, what their potential is, match their skill set, and then make it to where when they wake up in the morning, they're excited to get to work. If you're just going through the motion, if you're just going through paycheck to paycheck and you wake up and it's Christmas again and you're like, wow, it's Christmas again. Okay. No, I don't want you living that kind of life. That kind of life sucks and you deserve better. The kind of life that you deserve to live is one of awe and wonder. AWE, awe. I want you to experience that in everything that you do. I want you to experience joy. I want you to have peace. I want you to have creativity. I want you to be amazed. I want you to feel renewed every day. I want you to have contentment. I want you to be strong. These are all things that you deserve. And if those things that I just said, if you don't feel any of them, or if you only feel half of them, again, shoot me a message and just tell me what's going on, and I'll give you some advice. Okay? The whole point of this is interaction. I want to be able to interact with the people that listen to my podcast, and I want to be able to interact with you so that I can help. Because if you're taking the time out of your day to listen to me, then you deserve something for it, okay? So seriously, please feel free to message me because I want to hear and I want to help. I want to make sure that you're able to live the kind of life that you deserve to live. And I know I keep saying that over and over, but I need to keep saying it until you believe it. There's a lot of things that are happening in people's lives right now where a lot of people are giving away their personal power. So I had to talk about this with one of my clients today, where he's just giving away his personal power. And he's been doing it for years. And he doesn't even realize he's doing it because what he's trying to do is to just be a calming influence among his work and his family and his group and his friends and all these things. So he never speaks his truth, and he never talks about things that are important to him. And when you're in a workplace and you are leading people, if you are a leader and you're not talking about and you don't feel your personal power and you're not speaking your truth to your subordinates, then it can be a problem. This guy has a department of about 24 people. So he feels like he always just has to be the calming influence in order to keep things calm because he doesn't like it when there's chaos at work or people are mad at each other or there's interpersonal problems. And he doesn't like conflict. And my conversation today was, well, no, healthy conflict is good. You need to be able to have healthy conflict with people because that's where you grow. That's where you grow as a person. That's where you grow as a leader. But it's also where that person grows as an individual. Because it's unfair that they're late. If someone is late every day and you say nothing to them and you're their leader, their supervisor, their manager, then how can this person get better? Or how can this person be held to an expectation? And then you just get mad every time. And you're like, okay, he's 5 minutes late. He's 3 minutes late. He's 6 minutes late. And then you get mad and mad and mad. And then you think the guy's work performance sucks because he's late all the time. Whereas if you would just have the balls to say one time, look, you due in at 9 a.m. I expect you at your seat, ready to work at 9 a.m. This is the last time we're ever going to talk about this. And then he's going to be like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. And then he's there. And then everything is much better. So it comes down to, again, personal power. He doesn't feel like he has the personal power to make this decision and to lead these 24 people. Well, personal power is extremely important to find your life purpose. If you don't have personal power within yourself, then you're not living your own life. I want to say that again. If you don't have personal power, if you don't feel strong, if you don't feel invincible, how can you lead your life? Okay, this is very important because what this means is you've given that power away to other people. You've given it to your parents, okay, if you're younger, and they're telling you how to live your life. You're giving it to someone you're in a relationship with. Oh no, you're going to do it this way. I want you to work here because you need to work to support your family, so you need to keep this job. No, let's stop talking about this nonsense of you doing this. You're going to work this job because it's steady, it has good health benefits. Okay? Again, you gave away your personal power. Personal power means that you are in charge of your life. Anybody who thinks that they have the right to tell you how to live, to tell you who to love, to tell you what job to do, to tell you how to act, to tell you how to dress, that person is living their life through you. And screw that. You need to live your life by your rules, not by society's norm, not by society's standard, by your rules. Whatever you think is best for you, you take your personal power and you make decisions. Now, don't go out and be a dick to people, and don't go out and hurt people. I'm not saying that. But take your personal power and own you. What is it that you want to do? Because I guarantee you're going to be less of a miserable bastard if you're doing something that you love. But if you continue working day after day, month after month, year after year, in a career or in a job that you hate because it pays well, because you trapped yourself into earning so much money because you're a really good salesman for a product that you hate, and then at the end of 5 years, at the end of 10 years, you're thinking, wow, what the fuck am I doing here? I've just wasted 10 years of my life doing something I hate. I don't want you to do that. And the reason I don't want you to do that, the reason I'm so passionate about this, is because that's what I did. I woke up one day and I was 40 years old, and I was like, what the hell? I'm not doing what I want to do. I loved helping people. I loved coaching. I was doing coaching for free, just helping people. I'm a veteran, so I worked with a lot of veteran organizations, and I would just try to help veterans as much as I could, because coming back, you need a support system, and I wanted to be that support system, and I was coaching, and I was successful at what I was doing, but I didn't understand that I was a life coach at the time. I'd been in retail management, I'd been in a district manager, and I think I said last week that I ran a $4 million store. That was a misspoke. It's actually, I have run districts and regions up to $40 million. And I did it successfully because I'm it's just, you have to be organized. You have to build people up. And I surround myself by people who are much smarter than I am. So I recognized my life purpose, and I was living it without realizing that I was, because I was doing it at night and on weekends and volunteering. So then I remember going to my husband one day, and it's like, I want to go back to school, and I want to be a life coach. And he was so amazing, because he just goes, okay. And it was just like, it was so amazing. So I did. I researched a school. I reached out to a dear friend of mine in North Carolina, and she said, hey, I know a life coach. Let me talk to her. And she put us together, and I found out where she went, and it was amazing. And so to be able to go back to school when you're 40 and relearn a whole new thing, and then you start doing it as a side hustle, and then you're going through all this stuff of learning and doing, and then you're trying to figure out how to monetize it, and then you realize that you're helping people and you're making money doing it. And then when it turned into something incredible for me and I got enough confidence, I quit my corporate job where I was making really good money, and I said, okay, I'm just going to do it. And I had my savings account. Again, this is another conversation. We'll go to my husband and say, hey, do you mind if I quit my job? This poor guy. It's amazing he still has a full head of hair because of me, but he does. And it's crazy, because he's like, yeah, sure, do it. I want you to be happy. So it literally is that kind of happiness that I want each and every one of you to explore at some point. And if you don't know how to do it, I want you to reach out to me, to a mentor, to someone in your life, and just be vulnerable and say, look, I'm trapped. I make good money at this job. I have good insurance. I've got a good 401k. But when I walk in the door, the life just sucks out of me. I've got people that I work with that just take every ounce of energy that I have. And no matter what happens, it's not getting better. And they keep raising the goals and taking away the resources. And it's hard. And it's getting harder and harder and harder. and I keep having to rely on others for my livelihood. And I don't like that. What can I do? So I want you to have that conversation. If you're experiencing this, I want you to have this conversation with somebody that you trust, somebody who is a mentor to you, someone that you look up to, someone who is a hero to you, or a coach, a stranger. If there are plenty of life coaches. I'm in no way advocating for me. However, I am good. But if you're comfortable with a different kind of coach, because I know some younger guys like to work with younger guys only, women usually like to work with women only, however that works. My clients are generally male, female, of all ages. So I don't really have a niche, I guess my niche is basically, life's purpose, but I don't have a niche when it comes to clients. I don't only work with one type of person. So it's really interesting, but I want you to find someone that you can trust. And I want you to have this conversation, and I want you to have to use them as a sounding board. And I want you to just say, look, so this is how I'm feeling. Now what? What can I do? And hopefully there's some creative problem solving going on between the two of you. And you just start talking, and let it, if you can't come to a resolution in this conversation, at least let it percolate, and say, hey, you know what? Thanks for letting me talk. Thanks for letting me get it out. Maybe we can catch up in a week or so and just kind of see. If you have any advice for me, let me know. Or it could be something simple to where, the person knows you so well and they want to be your mentor, and they're like, look, I know you're miserable. I've seen it. And I know that you are really good at this. So why haven't you ever pursued a career in this? And a lot of times when I say that to people, their reply is, well, I'd love to, but I can't make any money doing that. Well, you know what? You can. There is so many ways to make money doing anything. You just have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have your personal power. So there is nothing that you can't do when you feel powerful. When you feel that lion inside of you, when you feel that bear roar, when you feel that panther growl, whatever that animal instinct is inside of you, I want you to realize that that's your personal power and no one can take it away. And if you have a passion for something, then do it. And I have a friend he's extremely passionate about just adventures. So I talked to him one time, and we were just going back and forth. And I said, well, why don't you just start doing something with adventures? And he's like, well, I don't know what you mean. And I'm like, well, just like Airbnb. Like Airbnb has a section where it's adventures. So just put some posts on there that you want to do some adventures in the Pacific Northwest and show people, what do you like doing? And he's like, well, I really like going out looking for mushrooms. I'm like, dude, you could totally get 3 or 4 people to go with you and take them to the places that you go and get mushrooms. And they would pay for that. And so he puts it up for like $60. Like it was like a 4-hour thing for $60 to go out and hunt mushrooms. And he called me and he's like, Dave, what the hell? He's like, I've made like $500 this month extra just on weekends by taking people out and we're hunting for mushrooms. And he's like, they don't, even the times where we can't find a lot, they're happy because I'm explaining to them, where to go, what the mushrooms are, and we're having fun. And he sounded alive. And he took that drive and he took that energy, and now he's traveling the world right now doing adventure type stuff. How incredible is that? He sends me messages every now and then in Facebook. And he's like, look where I am, because he's able to work from home with his job. So basically he can work anywhere with a computer. So he just takes off. And it's amazing. As long as he does his job and he gets everything in, he can pretty much go wherever he wants. And I tell you, the freedom that he has and the extra money he's making has been a godsend to him. And he's extremely happy. So that's what I want for you. I want you to sit there. Right now, you're thinking about something that you love to do. And you're thinking, wow, I wish I could do that. Well, God damn it, you can do that, okay? You can if you believe in yourself. And I want you to just think about that right now. Think about yourself. Think about the importance that you should be placing on yourself right now. Yes, you have a lot of responsibility. I get it. I totally get it. And I get that at times life can just wear you down. That's okay. Pick yourself back up Grab yourself, look in the mirror, look at the person that you are in the mirror, and say, I am enough. Say, I matter. Say, I love you. Looking at that reflection in the mirror, think about everything that you deserve, that you feel like you haven't gotten. Well, I tell you what, the reason you haven't gotten it is because you pissed away your opportunities and you've just been like, oh, it hasn't happened, so it hasn't happened. Bullshit. Stand up, grab your personal power, and take what you want. Live the life that you want to live by being strong within yourself and being commanding and knowing that you owe it to yourself to do this. You are a kind, wonderful, incredible person. And you need to say that to yourself. In so many ways, you need to sit down right now and say that to yourself and believe it. And say it over and over and over until you believe it. I do this with my clients at times. I'll say, okay, I want you to stand in front of the mirror when you get out of the shower. And I just want you to look at yourself. And I want you to look at your body. And I want you to say, I love you repeatedly until something shifts in your core that you believe it. And many people have done it. And many people have sent me the funniest messages about how this goes. But 9 times out of 10, it's a very positive response. So do that. Stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Repeat it over and over and over until you fucking believe it. And if you do not believe it, you need to send me a message to say, I keep doing this I love you thing in front of the mirror, nothing's happening because I'm a loser. Fuck that. You're not a loser, okay? You've just been beaten down by so many fucktards in your life that you think that. And it's not true. Stop believing what other people say about you because you are strong. What's funny is there's always 2 sides to people. You see the corporate, powerful executive who walks into a room and he or she is just like owning it. Everybody snaps their attention. They're making good money. They drive a nice car. And then they're just like, people are like, wow, they're incredible. They look like a model, all this shit. But then when they get home, the anxiety that they have, the self-destructive habits they have, the addictions they have, all of these things come into play because of low self-esteem, low self-doubt, and because they've given up their personal power to someone or something. So let's combine your inner voice with your outer voice. Let's make everything one and cohesive to where it's nice to you. Okay? I want you to feel as good on the inside as you feel on the outside. I want you to be in a room with a client with that strength that you have when you're trying to close a sale or trying to close a deal or trying to, whatever it is that you need to do for work in order to be accomplished. And you feel good about yourself. But then as soon as you leave there, you don't feel good about yourself anymore. Or vice versa. You feel really good, powerful, strong at home. But then when you get to work, you feel like you can't keep up. You can't compete. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. Again, I call bullshit. Because if you got the job, you're good enough for the job. It's just you're getting in your own way and you're getting in your own head. I have so many people in their own head where they're like, okay, I suck at this job. No, it's just you haven't taken your personal power. Get your personal power. If you feel that you are deficient in something in your job and you want to be better, learn. Find someone who's doing it right. Find someone, even if you don't get along with them, fucking go up to them and be vulnerable. And say, look, you're closing deals, you're making sales, you're incredible. Can you teach me? Can you show me what you do? Because I want to improve. That is fucking personal power right there. Because what you're doing is you're taking command of your own life, you're taking control, and you're saying, I refuse to be this any longer, and I'm going to get better. And you know what? I can't do it alone, so I need help. And I'm not going to let pride and ego get in my fucking way, and I'm going to ask for help. And I don't care if this person is your mortal enemy. When you go up and you ask them for help, you dissolve all that shit. Okay? And then the two of you can become, again, the two of you gaining your personal power together, because this person is probably feeling just as vulnerable. They just won't show it. A lot of times ego gets in the way of all of these kind of relationships at work. But if you just let go of that ego and realize that we're all here together, we're all here to help each other better. If many people in a department are doing well, the entire department does well. And that makes it for the company to do well. When the company does well, 9 times out of 10, they'll come back and pay it forward to the employees and thank them in some way. So, if you're not working for that kind of company, get a new company because they're being dicks. So you need to figure out what it is that will make you happier at work. And then at the same time, that's your means goal. If you're doing this to make a living, but it's not your passion, be good at work, make the money, cash that paycheck every other week. Take that money and start applying it to your side hustle. Learn things, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos. I've come to the realization that with Google and YouTube and podcasts, there is nothing that a human being cannot do. There is some kind of podcast, video, or Google entry somewhere of how to do something step by step. Or here's 15 ways to do something. You have to grab your personal power and you have to want to learn. So you can do this. You want to learn, you want to understand how to do this side hustle, but you don't know how. Fine. Get somebody, find that mentor. Like we talked about earlier. When you get your personal power, when you have some self-love, when you have some self-esteem, some self-confidence, you can go up to someone and say, hey, I see what you do. I respect you, and I think you're great at what you do. I'd like to, by the time I reach your age, I'd like to feel that way about myself as well. Currently, right now, I'm not. I'm kind of in a dead-end job. I'm doing something I don't like. I'm not good at my job. Can you give me some advice? Here's the funny part, though. I have people ask me for advice all the time, and then when I give them I say what I'm thinking, or I'm blunt with them, or I tell them, they fight me, and it's hysterical. Hey, Dave, I'm really unhappy, and this is why. They lay it all out for me. And then I'm just like, okay, well, the reason that you're unhappy is, because you're being a jerk and you're treating this person badly. And you know what? You're not doing this. You show up to work late every day. And then they're fighting me. No, you don't understand. That's not the problem. And it's like, well, yeah, it is. Don't come to me and ask me for fucking help and then fight me. That's just the dumbest bullshit ever. So don't do that to a mentor. If you have a mentor, someone that you respect enough to go to them, and you're vulnerable enough and you ask them for help, and then you're fighting them, that's fucking disrespectful. Don't do that shit. And it happens to me a lot, trust me. And it happens to people that I know, because and I see it. Like, I'll watch people do it as they're asking for help from other coaches or other friends of mine. And then when they leave, I'm just like, well, that was entertaining. But it really is. So if you're going to be vulnerable enough to talk to someone and ask them for help, be vulnerable enough to listen. And listen, even if it's something that you don't want to hear, even if it's something that you disagree with, listen. Okay? You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You need to listen more. I guarantee you, when you listen more, life totally changes. Because you don't always have to express your opinion. I've got people in my life from one of my old jobs. Oh God, it like stresses me out just thinking about it. But every time I turned around, this person had to be right. And no matter what anybody did, no matter what level they were in the company, this person always had to interject her opinion and tell that person how to do it, and tell the person how to do it that they would do it differently, or they're doing it slowly, or and it was shit like, you shouldn't staple that on the left corner like that. You should staple it more vertical, or you should staple all 3. Don't use the 3-hole punch. Use the 2-hole punch. It was stupid, little controlling shit like that. If you've got somebody in your life that is the control freak that likes to micromanage you, run. When I get around micromanagers, I tense up. Literally. In fact, one of my friends is going to hear this damn podcast, and he and I had this conversation last week. Sorry, I'm not talking about you. Well, actually, yeah, this is part of it. And you had made a joke about it because I made a mistake, and he's like, I guess I got to go back to micromanaging. Fuck you. Love you. Anyway, micromanagers suck. But some people feel that micromanaging is the only way that they can survive. They feel like as a leader, I can only lead these people if I micromanage them, because they're so incompetent that they can't do the job. That's the mentality of a micromanager at times. And you got to stop that, because the only way that people are going to grow is by teaching them and coaching them. So instead of being a manager, be a fucking leader. That's the difference right there. Care enough about your team to build them up to where you want to build them up, and if they leave you, you wish them well. But build them the fuck up. Because when you live your life building people up, you can do no wrong. Because that is so rewarding in so many ways. When you are a leader and you're managing 20, 50, 100 people, and you are making it your mission to make sure everyone is trained, that everyone has a voice, that everyone has a good working environment, that everyone has realistic goals, that everyone has all the proper tools and resources they need to be successful, that is a fucking leader. And that is the kind of person that you should be as a leader. And that should be the kind of person who leads you. If you don't have the kind of person, that type of person leading you, find a new leader. Okay, because you deserve better. Get your personal power and get a new job if you're unhappy. Okay, if you need help with your resume, reach out. I'll help you. Literally, send me your resume and I'll red pen the shit out of that thing, or I'll look at it and go, Jesus Christ, this is amazing. I'm going to recommend you to a friend of mine. So seriously, don't be afraid. Don't be so afraid of change that it hurts your life to where you can't be happy. Because that's the whole point of this coming here and living this life, is for you to be happy, to build connection, and to thrive. There's so much abundance in this world, yet everybody thinks that because he has abundance, I can't. Bullshit. There's so much money in this world. There's so much fame. There's so much everything for everybody. But we keep having this mentality of, oh, there's not enough, or I'm going to live in the lack, or I'm going to, I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough. Again, I call bullshit, because there's something about you that is distinct. There's something about you that is wonderful. But if you don't recognize that in yourself, then again, you gave away your personal power a long time ago and you have not gotten it back. Get your fucking personal power back. Google it. How do I get my personal power back? YouTube it. How do I get my personal power back? Look for a podcast on personal power. Listen, learn, get your fucking personal power back. Become the powerhouse that you are meant to be. Make decisions that are going to affect your life and make you happy, and do wonderful things with it. That is what's important. That's what you need to do, and that is what you were born to do. So I want you to find that. I want you to find that spark in you that makes you different. I want you to find that spark in you that makes you strong. I want you to look into a mirror and say, I love you, and see your best friend. Okay? It's so important that you love yourself. And you know what's, the saddest fucking thing of all is when I'm working with someone and we're going back and I'm like, well, when did you stop believing yourself? When did you stop loving yourself? When did you stop this? And again, it comes back to, well, when I was, 10 years old, this person said this to me. Or when I was in high school, I had a bully. Or, my dad always told me that. What? Okay, you let a fucking high school bully take away 15 years of your life? No. Do not give anyone else your power. Take your power back and say, no, I am enough. I matter. I am incredible. And I love myself. Say those things over and over and over until you believe it. You literally take that fucking memory of this person that you think destroyed you, or that destroyed you, and erase them from existence, because they don't matter. Because I guarantee you, they're not sitting back thinking about how horrible their life is because of you. They're probably out there flourishing in some way, being mean to 10 other people, 20 other people. You don't know. The thing is, though, don't give that person your power. Take your personal power back. If anyone has your personal power, take it back. You deserve this. Okay? Trust me. Please trust me when I say this. When you love yourself, when you take care of yourself, when you realize that you matter, It's one of the most precious things in the world. And anybody who doesn't feel that way, anybody who feels that they're trash, anybody who feels that, if I die tomorrow, nobody's going to miss me, fuck that. Fuck that thinking, okay? It's not true. You're just going through some shit and you haven't quite figured out how to find your way back. Use this podcast as a lifeline. Keep listening to me week after week. Reach out to me. Reach out to a mentor. Reach out to friends. Reach out to somebody. Because you fucking matter, man. You matter and you're worth the effort. And it's worth the time of you putting in for yourself in order to be better. I've got people tell me all the time, emotions suck. Emotions are for pussies. Dave, you're too emotional. Fuck you, all of you. My emotions are my fucking strength. Always. And anybody who says that my emotions are a weakness are fucking full of shit. Because I'm one of the most powerful people that I've met. And I have people all the time telling me how incredible I am. And you know what? When I look in the mirror, I fucking say how incredible I am. And I mean it. And I believe it. And I love myself so much that I take time for myself. I love myself so much that I love others. I love myself so much that I don't give away my personal power. And I never will. Have I in the past? Yes, 100%. 100% guilty where I've given other people my personal power. And it has bit me in the ass and has knocked me to my knees. But you know what? I had people there to pick me up. And I had people there that I could support on and lean on and go, holy shit, what just happened? Well, you know what happened? I just learned a fucking valuable lesson. And I want you to learn a lesson about this. Learn a lesson as to how you gave your personal power away, but take it back. And if we need to take it back together, let's take it back together. Again, reach out. I'll help you. 100% I will help you figure out how to find your personal power because you deserve that. Leave some comments, whatever you want to do. Contact me on Facebook. My Instagram is Dave Shepp Consulting. My email is dave@davesheppconsulting.com. My Facebook, Dave Shepp, just Dave Shepp is my personal. My page is Dave Shepp Consulting. Reach out to me on any of those avenues, and I will be glad to help you figure out what it is that you can do to find your personal power. But you matter, you are strong, and you're meant for so much greatness. Don't live your life according to other people's rules. Don't live your life through society's rules. Don't live anyone else's version of a life that you think you need to live up to. If people are setting expectations for you, if people are judging you, then you've given them your personal power. Take back your personal power and realize that, you know what? You bitches can have all the expectations you want. You can have all the judgment you want. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Your words have no power over me. When you can get to that stage, that's when you're going to figure out what it is you want to do, what you're meant for, what your passion is, and then you're going to start living your life purpose, and it is going to be amazing. So, gosh, I talk awfully fast. I got to kind of slow down a little bit. I get passionate, so I do apologize if I did talk a little bit too fast. Yeah, I think I've harped on this enough, and I think I've beat you up enough to realize that you better fucking love yourself. Seriously, man. Listen to your heart. If you can't see yourself right now this way, see yourself through another person's eyes that does. Because I guarantee you, your future self right now, your future self is saying, God, thank God he's listening to that podcast. Because something has just shifted in him or her. And all because of this podcast. And your future self is saying, wow, this is amazing. This is going to be great. And in a year, our life is going to be so different. All because you made a decision today. So, I guess that's it for me. I want to say thank you so much for listening again. I just went through how to reach out to me, so if you need to. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back next Tuesday as well. Thank you so much for everything. Take care.